The Bible talks about God sending a strong delusion upon people who deliberately defy Him and defy His laws. Recently, President Obama spoke at the National Prayer Breakfast, and we spoke a little bit about it. I've got some clips that I'm going to look at with you over the coming days, but I want to play just this one clip. Watch this, and then I'm going to talk about it.
Operating alongside those who seek to hijack religious for their own murderous ends. Humanity's been grappling with these questions throughout human history. And lest we get on our high horse and think this is unique to some other place, remember that during the Crusades and the Inquisition, people committed terrible deeds in the name of Christ. In our home country, slavery and Jim Crow all too often was justified in the name of Christ.
All right, he prays for guidance. He seeks guidance for not just himself, but for the nation. Think with me for a minute. If he was really seeking the guidance of God to the law and to the testimony, I believe it was Isaiah who said, if they speak not according to these words, according to the law of God, it is because they have no light in them. The president, if he really was seeking the face of God, would realize thou shalt not murder means you don't kill babies, Mr. President. If he was seeking the face of God for the direction of the country, he would recognize that marriage is between a man and a woman, and he would not assault the institution, the covenant, the sacrament of marriage. If he was seeking the face of God truly and open to what God would say, then he would understand the threat, the existential threat, the historic threat that Orthodox Islam is to freedom, to Christianity, all right? Anybody can study the ruins of Christianity in the Middle East, in Turkey, in Galatia. You can go and see the places where Paul walked and preached and where the church was thriving. And now, 1% are Christian. The churches lay in ruins, okay? So, Machiavelli wrote in The Prince that a ruler should appear religious. Should appear religious. It's very important, but he should not be too religious. Whether Obama is just completely deceived and deluded, like the scripture says that God sends a strong delusion, or whether he is just deliberately deceiving us and he knows the path of iniquity that he's on, I don't know that any of us will know that until it's revealed on the day of judgment, all right? But of this you can be certain. President Obama is deceiving. Whether he's deceived or is deliberately deceiving from true malice, like some Manchurian candidate, like some people think he is, I don't know. But when you make statements like, I'm seeking the face of God for his guidance, and then make statements like the Islamic terrorists, we won't even call them Islamic terrorists, these terrorists, these extremists, well, they breed because of a lack of financial opportunity. Mr. President, why did these 3 teenage girls leave England? Why? Was it a lack of economic opportunity? Or was it something a little different? Was it that they have studied the words and deeds of Muhammad, and they want, because they love Muhammad and they love Islam, they want to imitate those words and deeds. And they're willing to go over to Syria, to Iraq, and to become the wives of Islamic terrorists. God save us from the Islamic State. God save us from Islam. And God save us from the folly of this president. I'll be right back. I have been a leader in the pro-life movement for 30 years, and sadly we have not prevailed in our goal to make it a criminal act to kill an unborn baby. There's reasons why we have failed. I wrote this book, A Humble Plea, to Catholic bishops, to evangelical clergy, and to lay people, explaining where we went wrong and what we have to do to prevail. We've made this available as a PDF online for free. I encourage you to go and download your own copy. Why does a nice guy like me keep getting thrown in jail? I have been arrested almost 50 times and spent over a year of my life locked up in various prison facilities. And I wrote a book, many books. In fact, one of them is called Why Does a Nice Guy Like Me Keep Getting Thrown in Jail? It's a theological work, answering those who say that the church should not be involved in politics or that we should retreat. I encourage you to get it. In fact, get one and give it to your pastor.